Since 1945, Weatherby's been building the finest firearms and ammunition in the world. And today, we're proud to continue that legacy from our facility in Sheridan, Wyoming. This is On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast.
Welcome back to On Our Mark, the Weatherby Podcast. And today, we got a little catching up to do. It's been a little while. Tyler and I have both been in and out of the office, mostly out of the office since the start of the year. It's been a lot going on, which has been fun.
We have a small but efficient team. So when it's what we call show season, it's all hands on deck. We all go all over the place, all over the country. And then we all reconvene back in March.
Yeah, so we thought that today we'd just give you a little bit of a peek into the behind the curtain into what's been going on at Weatherby and what we can look forward to on the podcast this year. And so a little bit of recap, a little bit of looking forward, and a little bit of fun.
Yeah. I like it.
So show season was kind of crazy this year. I feel like we went to all the shows.
We did. It felt like all the shows. It was like the longest, shortest show season of all time because we had like 2 big rounds of just shows being in the same week. So again, when we got only like a pretty small team, we had going back to back, and I think you went back to back to back weeks on shows. So yeah, pretty crazy.
It was actually really fun this year. We had a lot of people come and personally, we had more than one guy walk into the booth. We actually multiple guys. Didn't look at a gun. Didn't say anything other than, "Hey, thanks for doing the podcast. Love listening while I'm driving or while I'm working out or whatever." I'm like, whoa, people listen to us. That's cool.
Yeah, and it happened at every show, which was pretty cool because I know I wore out the joke, "Hey, at least there's one of you out there." And I'm like, man, I've said this joke a bunch this year. So it's pretty cool to get to see those people who are going to the show and then coming by and saying hello.
Yeah, it's fun. So, all right, in order of appearance, SHOT Show. We exhibited at SHOT Show for the first time since 2020. We took a 5-year break, and we were back this year, January of 26, and we had a booth with the state of Wyoming. Business Council helped us have a booth again there, and it's much smaller. I think we had a 50 by 50 booth before, and we had a 10 by 20 this time around. So it was great to be back. It worked out. It worked out really well, being upstairs, and it was a good time and a much better use of our marketing dollars to do it much smaller than doing a 50 by 50, I will say.
Yeah, I thought SHOT was great. It was fun. Typically, man, everyone that I meet with at SHOT, since it is there's no consumer aspect to SHOT Show, right? So it's a lot of industry folks. And man, most of the industry folks these days that I'm talking to, we're on a pretty regular cadence. So it's not like I'm waiting for SHOT Show to go talk to these guys about our marketing plans, our advertising, new products. All those guys are kind of in the know, especially with technology and stuff these days. But it was good to see some face-to-face guys that I hadn't seen in a while. So it's a fun show overall.
There's going to be a couple themes, I think, that kind of come out of this. And it started at SHOT Show. I guess kind of going back in time, we had just launched 25 RPM. That was mid-January SHOT Show, and we launched that the 7th or something in January, and then the Capra the 11th, something to that effect. And the amount of people that just came, let me see it.
Yeah.
Where's the 4-pound gun? That was fun.
Yeah, people, surprisingly, we thought people would maybe be tripped up a little bit by Capra, the name, just because if you are a sheep hunter and things like that. But overall, a lot of people had seen it, and it was fun to have them come ask for the gun. They didn't look at anything. They come up and it's like, where's it at?
Let me see it. Yeah, that was really fun. So we went from SHOT to Sheep Show. So that's kind of the first consumer show that we attended this past season. And because of the Capra, Sheep Show was super, super fun because that's the target audience. That's what we built that gun for. Really lightweight, backcountry hunters. That just speaks to them.
Yeah, in Reno and Nevada in general is just a unique sheep culture. So it's like a perfect spot to have Sheep Show because they've got Rockies and Bighorns, and they have the most sheep of any state in the U.S. So, or I guess the lower 48.
Yeah, and desert.
And yeah, so they have desert and all the things. So a lot of people there have been on sheep hunts. So it's actually kind of a fun, cool culture thing that they have going on in Nevada.
Yeah, probably if you're if all you want to do is shoot sheep, you should move to Nevada. It's your best odds anywhere. Be
Definitely.
a resident in Nevada.
Yeah. So
Just as a pro tip for you.
and that show in general, man, they do such a good job with the making it fun. We do a ton of trade shows, but I can say that everyone on our team is always looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
They do a good job with the banquets, and we had an 80th anniversary gun there on auction, which was fun. So we got to see that sell for good money.
Tough sheep.
Tough sheep. We did Tough Sheep there too, with our friends at Mountain Tough.
Yeah, so we sponsored, if you don't know, Mountain Tough held the Tough Sheep. It's a workout contest, really just a workout that was Friday morning, and we sponsored the first wave. Tyler, JD, and I all ran that, and it was hard.
The sheep one was really hard. It was fun though. I think it took us all just a little bit under an hour to do it.
Yeah. We had done it the year before, and so I was kind of just expecting a carbon copy of the year before, and it got me when we got to the first set of stairs, and they're like, just pick up this extra 60 pounds, because we already have 40 pounds in our pack, and then go up the stairs, do whatever that was, 50 yards, and then come back down the stairs. That was hard.
It was hard, and it's just like that was kind of like a sneaky add to what you thought. Like I think the year before it was more like 35 minutes was like kind of what our crew was doing, 35 to 40 minutes, somewhere in there. So significantly harder this year at Sheep Show.
Yeah, it was really that 60 pounds extra going up the stairs. That was a challenge.
I want to say the hardest one for me is they did like a Zercher squat to kneeling. I don't know what that one was. I've never done that.
It hurt.
We do Zercher squats all the time in Mountain Tough, but not to kneeling, alternating reverse lunge. I don't know. I feel like they just made that one up.
They did. That one did hurt. I felt like I had a peak performance day that day, though. I felt pretty good.
Yeah, you were crushing on that one, which I think I got the SHOT Show crud, as they say.
Yeah, I don't think you were 100%. I shouldn't have beat you.
I did not feel great. I'm like, I don't feel good. I think you were like, hey, what's wrong with you today? And I go, I don't know. I just suck is what I said. But
it was like one of those moments where you're trying to be compassionate or concerning, but it didn't maybe come out the right way. And Tyler took it as like me asking him, why do you suck?
No. And that's the fun thing with you, me, and JD, and we're all pretty competitive. So I think that's kind of the fun part. I think we always look forward to that Mountain Tough workout now.
It was fun.
We've done it the last couple of years, and then we did the mule deer one that I'm sure we'll talk about. But it's something to look forward to, because today we were even emailing today. I'm like, I'm going to beat JD next year, even though I probably won't, but I'm going to try.
Yeah. So I think I took top honors that day, but it's not fair because I think you were under the weather, and JD, his wife Megan, ran with him, and she crushed. But
she's a beast.
He hung with her. I think that if he was not trying to hang with Megan, he would have destroyed me. But
yeah, I think through that whole workout, I was in front of him and Megan, and then there's this and she's a beast. So there's this section where they had to go. You had to be like go underneath. It's like going underneath a fence.
Under a sawhorse.
Yeah. So essentially that, and I just see Megan, who is vertically challenged a little bit, but was good for this one. She ran through that, and I never saw him again after that. So
yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, I'm a 6-footer, and that one was tough. I think I hit the backpack on the top of the sawhorse every time.
Yeah.
That hurt.
I was like bear crawling through it because I couldn't like squat at that time, because that was like one of the last stations.
Yeah, that was just a fun event though. It's good camaraderie. There was 500-ish people that entered that. So
420 finished or something. 424 people finished, and again, I guess we didn't explain it. It's like if you finished, you had a chance to win a sheep hunt.
Yeah, that's why we did it. We didn't just go to work out.
Yeah, so like one person won a sheep hunt. It was awesome. We gave away a rifle.
Yeah, but that's a 1 in 420 chance. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
I've won with less before.
Nice. Yeah. So that was a cool event. The gal who won the Weatherby it was actually awesome. I'm not sure she knew what she won at the time, but then when I talked to her and her dad after, she had killed a sweet mountain goat with a Weatherby. They were showing me pictures.
Awesome.
So the gal who won, I was pretty pumped that she won that.
Yeah, so the wave that we sponsored, there were 30 people on our wave, and 3 of them were out because they're Weatherby employees. So there was a 1 in 27 chance of winning a Weatherby rifle because we were just going to give one at random. You didn't have to win. But I think, was it that wave or was it Tough Buck where we got top 3 or top 4?
That was Tough Buck.
Yeah, we crushed in that wave. Anyway, sheep was a lot of fun. And then we play a fun game at the banquets at Sheep Show. As a group, we everybody bets on the sheep hunts, the big sheep hunts. Everybody puts $1 in the pot, and whoever's closest to what Price is Right rules, closest to without going over, wins the pot $1. So there's 10 people at our table. There's roughly $10 in the middle. Sometimes somebody might miss if they go to the bathroom or whatever. But yeah, I think I walked away with like $20.
Yeah, I did not. I don't think I won or lost money.
You just break even.
Yeah, I broke even. It was fun.
It's a great break even. I'm not in the spot where I can bid on $100,000 plus hunts, and probably never will be. And I'm great with that. So it's a really fun way to be like, oh, I bet that hunt's going to go for $600,000, and then it feels like you won the hunt, and when actually you won $10.
It's pretty fun on the table too. There starts to get rumors are like, what did it go for last year? Is there any big sheep in that?
There's a spreadsheet involved now.
yeah, it's funny how it's evolved. But I think top sheep, was it $1 million? Was that what the New Mexico tag? $1.1 million back to conservation. It's pretty wild.
It's a big deal. Anyway, that's a really fun way. That's a fun game to play. If you can't get your friends to play the most unsuccessful auction bids, wins $20 or whatever that night, because you can get stuck with a big bill. This is a good second option.
Yeah.
Western Hunt Expo was after that.
Yeah. Western Hunt, man, that's kind of our crowd. Feels like every year we go to Western Hunt in Salt Lake City. It just gets better and better. So
it was a banger this year. Great show.
It was busy. That one goes to support Mule Deer Foundation, which you are on the board.
Yeah, it looked different for me this year because I'm actually chair of the board, and so the first day of that show is a board meeting, and so it's I actually don't really wear a Weatherby hat at that show. Truth be told, that's more Luke wearing a Mule Deer Foundation hat, and it was really fun. It was my first meeting as board chair, and it went great, and it was really fun, and I'm really happy with where we're at. Technically, Western Hunt Expo is split between SFW and MDF, so we share that show. That's why it's not Mule Deer Foundation show. It's Western Hunt Expo. Actually, quick fact. Started many years ago, like I forget the year. Started with NWTF, RMEF, Sheep, MDF, and SFW all together. Started that show. That's why it was the Western Hunt Expo.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Now all of those shows in their respective spots are pretty darn big.
Yeah, but Western Hunt is the biggest show that's west of the Mississippi for conservation groups.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's pretty cool.
Big draw. It was really cool.
Yeah, we saw a lot of people there, a lot of good conversations, lots of engagement. I really liked that show. All of our so a lot of the other shows might be like hanging out with my rider friends and all the things in the industry. There, we get to see a lot of our partners. So we got to see the Hush Crew. We got to see Brian Call. We got to see a bunch of guys that we get to work with. And we did both of the, you didn't get to go, but we did their movie nights. The Hush guys had a movie night and Brian had a movie night. So we went and watched some movies those nights, and it was pretty awesome.
That's fun. That one, people, same story. Capra, Alpine CT, another standout people wanted to touch. Fun show.
Definitely. That was a good show.
Also, there was Tough Buck, first ever edition of Tough Buck. So they took the Tough Sheep, Mountain Tough did, and kind of morphed it into a slightly different workout. And although it was shorter, time duration was shorter, I would not say that it was easier than the sheep workout.
It was a different kind of hard. It was more of a sprint. It felt like you weren't, everything was quote unquote easier, but I felt like you could do it faster, so it made it just as hard, just in a different way.
Yeah, if you're like kind of wondering what the heck we're talking about on these workouts, it's a circuit. So there's a lap involved, which you've got 40 pounds on your pack, and you do a lap, and then you go to a station and you do like a workout. And the workout, there's like 5 stations at each of these Tough Buck and Tough Sheep. The first one is like walking lunges, like roughly 150 walking lunges. Then you do a lap. Then you do the next station, which is like 150 cooler step-ups. So they literally had Yeti coolers. You step up on the cooler with 2 feet, then you go off to the left, then off to the right, and back and forth 150 times with 40 pounds on your back. Then you do a lap. Then it changed a little between Tough Sheep and Tough Buck, but some of it's squats, zerchers, but basically cooking your legs. That's what's happening. And the difference to me was the lap, because at Sheep you had a pretty good section of flat, then you had the stairs with extra weight, and then you got the rest of your lap in, and you could kind of rest in that lap section. At Tough Buck, there's no real resting, because even though you only had one set of stairs with extra weight on your pack, there was multiple sets of stairs between there. So even with 40 pounds on your pack, and it's not really a run, but you're like fast walk jogging, it got painful with having all the stairs. You could just not get your heart rate down. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't think of that until just now, because there was stairs throughout the entire course. There was kind of like one section that was focused on stairs and weight. But there was like...
It was like zigzagging up and down the stairs, and that hurt. That hurt bad. But we did great in our wave. I think JD got first. You just passed me right at the end on the lunges, so I was like 15 seconds behind you or something.
Yeah.
You crushed those. That was hard.
That one was cool. And also, second place winner, he was a 6.5 RPM shooter. So he was a firefighter from Denver, which was also cool.
Yeah.
So.
Love that. That's super fun. So Sheep Show was great. From Sheep, we went to SCI.
Yeah.
Super fun show.
SCI Nashville. And that one, because of the dates, straight too. So I left Western Hunt on a Sunday, went straight to Nashville to
set up the booth. And yeah.
Yeah. SCI is a cool, different show.
Well,
cool show.
Nashville, I mean, they moved to Nashville a couple years ago. It was always questionable when you move a major show like that to a new town what it's going to do, but Nashville is an awesome place to visit, I think. Maybe not everybody agrees, but whether you like country music or not, I don't think matters. There's great music all over the place, cover bands everywhere, Broadway's a blast, cool bars and restaurants, great food. Everybody's pretty friendly. It's a fun place.
Yeah, I think everyone enjoys that show. Just kind of like a weird testament. Like my brother-in-law and sister-in-law from Missouri drove to Nashville to go to the show, but they also wanted to go to Nashville. It was a good excuse to do both. So I think it draws a lot of people. We didn't do NWTF, which was the week before, but that's also in Nashville. A lot of people really like that show. So I think it's just a cool town to go for the show, but then there's a lot of other things where you can take your family, and I think that's what is a big draw.
Yeah. The amount of people at that show that listened to the podcast, knew all about the Capra and 25 RPM was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was probably the most engaged podcast group. We had lots of people come up.
I don't want to name names specifically, but this guy will know who I'm talking about. There's a guy that came, big podcast fan, lost a ton of weight, said he was inspired by some of the stuff we talked about doing carnivore. He was going to go on a sheep hunt between then and now. And I saw a picture this morning that he killed a great ram.
That's so cool.
Super cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was actually that was probably the highlight of the show season, was talking to him, hearing the impact that kind of us and the brand have had on him and how it's affected and changed his life positively. And I was like, holy cow, that's why we do that. I mean, it's super cool. Yeah. Super cool. So congrats. I think he's a regular listener. So
yeah, he might be. He'll probably be listening to this one. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he sent Coulter a picture. And
oh, did he?
Yeah. So I saw the picture of the ram this morning.
Nice.
So it's cool.
Nice.
Love it. You guys went to Pheasant Fest.
Yeah, a crew did. I did not.
Yeah,
go.
yeah, that's right.
That was in Minneapolis this year. So Coulter went from SCI
it's the only
to
one
there.
that
Yeah, he went there for one day.
One of us wasn't at.
Yeah. So DJ and Kyle and Chris all headed up that show. They said they had a good time. That show's always fun. That's a great crowd. There's lots of dogs too, and it's a lot of fun.
That one is fun. Kind of a weird time to be in Minneapolis with everything going on with politically there, but yeah, still a good turnout.
It was a great show. I would say probably their attendance was affected by just things. If you compare it to the last time they went to Minneapolis, which was a lot of people, there was definitely a decline in attendance, and I don't think that's a coincidence. It's just all the things that's going on in the world.
And then I just pretty much got back from IWA, which is kind of like German SHOT Show. Let's call it European SHOT Show. So a lot of people, SHOT Show is a huge show, very international, but there's a lot of Eastern European bigger customers that don't go to SHOT but go to IWA, and that one's fun. It's in Nuremberg. Nuremberg's just a really cool there's a lot of history in Nuremberg. We ate at a restaurant one night with the KRG stock guys. The foundation was started 1380, where it like opened as a restaurant in like 1410. So like before white man discovered America, quote unquote discovered, this restaurant existed. It was pretty wild.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
My only IWA story that I have is that I almost went, and then COVID happened. So
the one year they didn't have it.
The 1 year I was scheduled to go, and it was they canceled it like a week before the show.
Yeah,
or something.
I remember that.
It was something really close, and I'm like, I'm going, and then ever since never went. But that's a cool show. It's also right there close to Italy, so we get to see a lot of. You guys get to see a lot of customers too, because we got our shotguns are made in Italy. We get some good wood from Italy, a lot of cool things like that. So you get to see a bunch of different suppliers too.
I meet with a lot of our suppliers, and we meet with a lot of our customers, international customers that, you don't think about it sometimes as an American consumer, but we met with a new potential guy that's going to import some Weatherby into Macedonia. It's
nice.
like you don't think about that often, but that's a good portion of our business, international, and the Weatherby brand resonates across the world. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
Also, ski season over there. You got to do a little bit of skiing on the back end of it, which is kind of cool.
I took my two oldest kids, they're 18 and 17, and we went to Chamonix, France. We took the train from Nuremberg, tried to teach them how to dirt bag a little bit. So I used a week of PTO, and we went to France and had a really great time. The Chamonix is basically the town at the base of Mont Blanc, which is the highest point in the Alps. So it's like 15,000 and some change. And town is at like 3,000 feet. So you're looking up like literally 12,000. They're gnarly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gnarly.
The only thing I know about that mountain is it's a name of a shoe. So I've never been to France or anything
there's
like
an Ultra Mont Blanc. I have some of those actually. That's like my racing shoe. I know why they named it after that now.
It makes more sense now.
There's a glacier at the top where you're used to seeing here the bighorns. We've got snow-capped peaks, especially like it's snowing right now. Tomorrow the mountains will look majestic, right? Mm-hmm. This was next level. I mean, they're like 4 times taller from where they start, like where town is, to 15 and change. Yeah, and at the very top, there's this glacier, and it looks like it's 200 yards thick, like just solid ice and snow, just gnarly. And then there's gondolas that go up all over the place. It's just this whole valley. You can ski. You can't really ski 360, but there are like to connect all the way around the valley. But there are gondolas and ski places all over, and it was rad.
That's pretty cool.
The snow was terrible because it was really warm the week before we were there, but just the experience in town was awesome. Yeah,
so like you said, the base town was like, what is that, 3,000 feet higher than we are right now? Or from the highest point of the Bighorns, right? Was it, you said 12, 13,000 is where?
No, town is at like 3,000 feet.
Oh, so it just goes all the way up to 15. Wow.
Yeah, so they're enormous.
Yeah, that'd be like us, like where we are right now, looking at the Bighorns and it being 4,000 feet, 6,000 feet taller than.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They look amazingly. It was gnarly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Gnarly.
Very cool.
Super fun. Some. What have we been launching, Tyler? Run us through that.
Yeah,
we've been busy since January 1.
Yeah, so I'll just do a quick. This is kind of your little new product rundown. We've been launching stuff all over the place. So we kicked it off with 25 RPM. We did that in January. And then the next week we did the Backcountry Capra. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of the two flagship launches that we had. But then we also launched some shotguns, mixing in between shows and all the stuff. So we launched a couple new Sorks models. So we launched new Sorks Turkey and a Sorks Field, which there's a whole podcast on that. But and then on the Element side, we did another Element II Turkey, which I think that was also in a podcast. So, but pretty cool. Not everyone launches as many products as we do. It feels like every year we always have more products to launch, which is really fun as a team because it's like, I love that we are rifles, shotguns, and ammo and then Peak 44 too. We always have like every category of
shooting. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. So
super fun. We just talked about it at shows, but it was super fun. There was people asking to see all of these at the different shows, and it was fun. So good job, because people knew about them ahead of the show. So that means you did your job well.
Yeah,
good job.
That means our team crushed it. So the team did great.
We appreciate you, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. I think Adam says this a lot, but like some of his favorite things about Weatherby is that product lifestyle, like where it starts as an idea and then you finally get to tell everyone about it. But it might take us two, sometimes 3 years on stuff to bring things to market. So it's always fun to be like, feels like Capra's been around forever, but that's just because we started testing it like 2 years ago and now it's only a couple months old.
On the Capra, shout out to Kobe, because around the Capra and the 25 RPM, we launched that Turkey Ibex film.
Oh yeah, the Ibex film too. Yeah,
and that just the comments on there were amazing. That the cinematography, the imagery, it was epic.
Yeah,
he did a great job.
That film is amazing. I jokingly say that is Adam and Kobe's type of turkey hunting. There's turkey hunting, which is our Midwest guys, which turkey season's coming up, but that's their type of turkey hunting.
That is their type of turkey hunting. That's well said.
Yeah,
that's great.
So,
it was just fun at the shows, specifically the Capra. I mean, that was definitely the standout of people just coming in. They want to see the 4-pound gun. They got it, and yeah, super pumped.
Yeah.
Now we got to fill all those orders.
Pretty cool. Yeah. And then when this podcast launch, just give you a teaser. I think the day this comes out is going to be, we'll have another Element II. It's going to be a collaboration with the DUX guys. So if you're a waterfowl nut, you'll know who the DUX guys are. We did a cool dip with their old school camo. Looks really good on an Element II. So we're pretty excited about that one. It's another cool new product, and if you're in the waterfowl space, you'll know who we're talking about.
Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, check that one out, weatherby.com. Looking forward now to the rest of this year. There are more products in the works. We're not done. I'm not going to get into what those are, but there are several that should launch before the end of the year.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
Maybe more than several.
We do this sometimes where we have the plan, and then
things change.
Then all of a sudden, it's like, here's an awesome idea that we just execute. So,
well, yeah, we've got a lot of users, and I think what happens sometimes is you kind of look at like Lego. I was a Lego kid. Not everybody was a Lego kid, but I see these like, oh man, short barrel here, the BSF carbon barrel here. There's a stock here. There's new accessory here. Like, oh, what if we did that one? They're like, oh, that's like kind of one example. Capra is a different one. That was like, you don't get to that with the existing Lego set. Those are all new Lego blocks. We have a little of both, I would say.
I know. That's actually like one thing like that I like to talk about is when we launch a new product, that doesn't mean something else is going away. Like a lot of times we'll get like, oh, you're launching this product. It might not be that guy's cup of tea, but it's like we're not going to not make Mark V Deluxes. Like that, we're still going to make those.
Still going to make that. It's the Capra is going to cannibalize some of the Backcountry 2.0 for sure. But if you want a 300 Weatherby Backcountry, you're getting a Backcountry because we're not doing the 9-lug Magnum action in a Capra. So there's usually some thought behind and reasons behind each thing, but we're not going to forsake an AccuMark, an Apex for a 4-pound gun. They all have their place. That's what's great. It's America. You can get more than one.
Yeah, and there's so many options these days, just in everything in life, that I think it's fun that we offer just a wide breadth in Weatherby. It's still like right in the core of what we do, but then it's like we're kind of personalizing a lot of our different product lines for everyone's preferences. So
yeah. So it's March. I can't. I mean, like, it feels like 2 days ago was like New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom that it's already March. That means bear and turkey season, like, coming up fast.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pumped for both, actually. And I'm historically not been. Personally, we're both doing the Bighorn again.
Yes.
So I'm excited to do some training hunts. Is that a thing?
That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. Yeah.
We're making it a thing. So I want to spend some time with a really lightweight rifle while running, maybe where bears and turkeys live.
Yeah, I think that we did a practice run last year, and we're like, the Capra was kind of a thing at that time. We're like,
we could totally do this.
We could be where like you carry a Capra and I carry a super lightweight, Element 20 gauge or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we just trade off when we get up there. And then we try to hunt turkeys during midday and hunt bears in the morning. So
we found turkeys at what, 9,000 feet?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. I'm like, coming from the Midwest, I'm like, this excites me. Cause like turkeys out West, especially if you're I don't know, Western turkeys are just different. They're not like Easterns in Missouri.
Yeah.
And so to me on Western turkeys, I feel it's more of like where you hunt them. It's like, this is very foreign to me and I would like to experience.
We'll have to figure out, the logistics. I think carrying just a gun is good, but, I'd still probably do a really lightweight pack. So like if a bear were to be found and or killed, it's probably an extra trip down.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
definitely an extra. It's maybe 2 trips down, depending on how things work out. Mm-hmm. So, but just trying to get the miles on the legs.
Well, I think it would be fun. Yeah, you just do like a bunch of miles in power hiking with your base camp, drop base camp, do some more running, and then hunt in between. And it's like how far. It doesn't really matter how far. We're gonna get out eventually.
Fun. It's fun. Yeah, so you're going to do the 52 this year?
Doing the 52 again on the run. And our weather in Sheridan has been amazing. So I'm ahead of where I was last year, I feel like, as far as running. Feeling pretty good. Getting a bunch of mountain miles already, which seems crazy because normally it'd be feet of snow in places.
Yeah, I was looking on Strava. I'm ahead of where I was this time last year, and I was about the best shape I'd been in at this time last year, so I'm excited to have a little bit of a head start.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't even start really running for the Bighorn until March last year. Yeah.
I did April hard last year.
I hadn't really been on Strava before last year when I started running. So like I think I had like 0 miles last March. So it's like I've now had a couple back-to-back 20, 25 mile weeks.
I was running, but I didn't really seriously up the mileage until April, which I think every Saturday in April I did a half marathon last year.
Yeah.
Like we did most of those.
We did most of those together because there's just like a perfect spot to start where you get some road running in and then all the way up the mountain.
All the vert?
Yeah, like 3,000 vert. And you can do that in a half marathon. Pretty good training.
Yeah. So I think look forward to some bear rifle setup podcast coming up. Probably some turkey hunting podcasts.
Yeah, I think the bear rifle setup podcast is going to be fun because I don't want to give it away because I know there's a couple different guys in the office and everyone has such a totally different strategy.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be actually really fun. And it's like a wide breadth of what we do at Weatherby. So there'll be be all kinds of stuff. So I think that one's going to be fun. I don't want to give it away. But I like going through people's rifle setups and optic setups that's on their rifles. Is there any little accessories or tripods that people like to use? I nerd out. I like to watch those types of gear videos.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's so many options. There's so many great scope options. There's so many ways to do it. And there's not really a wrong way, maybe.
It's fun to, when I watch or listen to podcasts like that, I like to know people's thought process behind what they're doing. Because there's just so many opinions. Yeah, you kind of got to pick something and run with it. But for example, I know JD's thought process on his rifle is really cool, and I know there's other people that want to hear from that.
Yeah.
But it's completely different than how I would do my rifle setup.
Yeah, it's a great point. But everybody comes at it from a different perspective, which is exactly what you're saying. I think my strategy this year is just going to be fast and light. You know, I'll sacrifice almost everything so that I can go further, lighter, longer.
Yeah, I like it.
So that'd be fun. One of the bigger surprises from last year was the 22 Creedmoor.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that was that we weren't really talking. That could have been in our highlights for show season because that was another one that was exciting.
Yeah. So I do the forecasting here, and I screwed that one up bad.
That was one that you weren't quite sure was going to be a home run.
No, I thought it would be good, but I mean, we continue to crank out a lot of 22 Creedmoors. It is quite popular right now, and I didn't think it was going to be as popular as it is. It might be worth its own deep dive.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. We've done a lot of Weatherby cartridge deep dives, but as we expand the podcast and people's interests and all the things, I think it would be kind of fun to maybe do a cartridge deep dive because there's some behind the curtain things on 22 Creedmoor that I know right now that would be cool for a cartridge deep dive.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, and it's a W.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's no 224 Weatherby. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but that's where we get to if we do a deep dive, we get to see how, pick that apart a little bit.
Yeah,
so I think we'll be doing things like that a little more often. We'd love to get feedback. So like if there's cartridges that are non-Weatherby, just that honor mark at weatherby.com.
Yep.
Send us podcast ideas. Man, we want to try to stay consistent. We kind of have seasonalities where we can do a lot more certain times of years just because we are a small team. But we do read all of those, and we really do appreciate like what you guys want to hear too.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of surprised at the amount of people that mentioned some of the like health and fitness things to us at shows.
Yeah.
Which was cool. The cartridge deep dives. So yeah, maybe we do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, because it's really easy for us to do a good new product breakdown, and those always do really, really well. But it's kind of those other ones. And even if there's like people you want to hear from, we've got a lot of industry contacts. Typically, we just do Weatherby stuff on this podcast, but we've got a lot of buddies in the industry that we could remote in and do all the things. So
yeah, I signed you up for an Ironman. Did I tell you that?
Oh, no, I did not hear about that
Yeah,
one.
I just figured it was the right thing to do.
I don't think I've swam since I was in like second grade.
Yeah, I'm a terrible swimmer. I'm a proficient swimmer, but from like a speed swimming and competition swimming. Adam's an animal in the pool.
I know, he's so good at it. I think where I would, little part of me is like, I don't know I would ever get into the whole Ironman thing because I really did get into the running because it makes me a better hunter. It gives me a good reason to like want to train and run. Not a lot of swimming to get to where I need to hunt. So yet unless we're going to come out with spear guns, guys, and then we'll be swimming a bunch.
Yeah, maybe the boat can't drop you as close to the shore as you'd like. Or maybe an orca's chasing you in Alaska.
I don't know. Are you actually interested in an Ironman?
No.
But you like the biking. You're the biking and the running.
I need to find like an iron duathlon. I would do a run bike or a run bike run, but the swimming is probably a deal killer for me. Yeah. I have enough going on in my life that I don't really need another hobby. I actually got to a point where I like got some goggles and was gonna like try to do the swimming thing recently, like December, and then I was like, "This is no, I can't do it."
It's like put that hobby back in the box and no. I'm the same way. I think right now hunting takes up so much of my hobby time that I don't think it will expand much past running. And I would like to shoot more. Shooting, any kind of some of these shooting sports.
Yes.
I think I said on this podcast I committed to an NRL hunter, and then I am now having a baby. So I'm not having the baby.
Excuses?
My wife is having the baby. So I think I'm going to pivot that. I bought a barreled action. I did purchase one. So I think I'm going to pivot to WPR, which is Western Precision Rifle.
Oh, yeah.
So they do those local in Sheridan. So I'm going to have to do it's our first child. So I know I'll have to stay a little bit close. And the NRL hunter, they don't have the Cody match anymore. This year, this is the first year not doing it. So it's just like timing wise, there's more WPR opportunities close. So I bought my barreled action.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start getting that gun all tuned up.
Perfect. What cartridge?
I just did Creedmoor.
Yeah.
6.5 Creedmoor. And I am never going to hand load. So I just know
That's a good one.
Between my Barnes friends and the Hornady friends, I'm going to have a good factory option that I'm pretty confident in. So
yeah, they'll need more.
You'll need more. And then potentially, cool thing about barreled actions in our 307 being a 700 footprint is I can drop that into more of if I want to do NRL hunter, I can drop it into more of a hunting style carbon fiber stock or something like that in the future. Like Savannah, my wife, potentially hunt with it one day too. So there's a little, we think of tools, right? And the 6.5 Creedmoor was designed for match shooting. So it's like, let's use the right tool for the job.
When we wrap this podcast up, you got to remind me. I have an idea that I think we need to pull off, but I can't talk about it right now.
I love those kinds of ideas.
It just hit me just right then.
What do they say on ideas? Like, your like friend group is dangerous when someone says, when you have an idea, everyone's like, yes, we're all doing that.
Yeah. I think I have one.
All right. Awesome.
Let's go. Yeah, this will be out later this year. All right. Thank you for listening. Like Tyler said, if there are topics you want us to cover on our mark at weatherby.com, it's the email, and we'd love to see those. Until next time.
See ya.
See ya.